In this week's episode, we camp on this amazing beachfront wilderness, fish around the remote tropical islands of the Torres Strait, show you our new internet antenna and if it really works, as well as make some delicious dessert from coconuts we found on the beach. So stay tuned. We're heading to a place named Roonga Point, located about 30 minutes north of Bamaga and possibly Australia's most northern free camp.
How good is this, guys? That's our campsite. Look at that, prime beachfront camping here, and it's free. How good is this? Awesome site. So there's lots of campsites along this place. We decided for this spot. There are a few more people around here, so everyone's sort of lined up on this beach. Reason for that probably is because you can launch and retrieve the tinny a lot easier. Now there is a couple of good sites a bit further back, but they don't really suit a tinny, and it's a bit sketchy to get there. Plus there's probably one other site I would have considered. There's too many people there at the moment, so we set up here. We think this is an awesome spot. Look, I've got my own little boat launch here, so I can pull the boat in at night. Beautiful, beautiful sight. Wind's blowing offshore. I reckon we can get out to these islands, explore them. There's a few more. This is actually Restoration Island. There's a good story to this one. I'll tell you about that a bit later in the video. But we head over to Restoration Island, check that place out. There's heaps of bush tucker around here. There's little tracks that we can go to and explore inland. And Tenny has found, oh my God,
Oh,
look at that.
One favorite seafood.
That'll make a good necklace, you reckon?
This campsite is nothing short of amazing. With plenty of space for smaller and bigger rigs, the sites are right by the beach. Campfires are allowed, and in case you feel lonely, the bar and restaurant at the Punsand Bay is only a 15 minutes drive away. As the beach faces west, it's also protected from the easterly winds and offers stunning sunsets over the Torres Strait.
How good is this? So nice here. Fortunately, you can't go swimming over here. The neighbours just told us as well, and there's a couple of crocs hanging around here every day. Apparently they come out at night, see if they can find a feed on the beach. Jen, I reckon you shouldn't walk on the beach at night. These crocs are always out for a bit of Asian cuisine.
No. I got a good view up here.
So we're just putting up the tarp. The wind has been flapping all night again. One of the other disasters we always have with the camper trailers is the wind. If the wind is blowing, oh my God, is it?
And the rain.
Yeah, but we found a good trick to get around this. So we bought this tarp and we'll just put that around it, and it prevents the air from getting underneath the tropical roof. It's also good when it rains, obviously. So we string that up now and then tighten it a little bit with bungees, and then it just prevents that flapping to occur. So yeah, hopefully that works out. Look at my antenna up there. I'll tell you a little bit about this antenna in a second. Let me just get that tarp up, and then I'll tell you what this is all about.
Oh yeah, the wind. A godsend when it's hot, but a pain in the rear when you're living under cameras. Over the past year, we've had our fair share of sleepless nights, from flapping roofs to complete teardowns of the NX.
Looks like we were wrapped up in aluminium foil. Does work though. There you go. Full on wind protection. And another thing, another good thing about it is there's people driving around these roads all the time, and no one seems to understand that you shouldn't drive fast when you come close to someone's camp because of the bloody dust it creates. Yeah. Every time these guys drive around here like mad, we'll get this big dust plume in the back, and it all obviously blows into the camper trailer, and that prevents that from happening as well. Check it out, nice spot. There you go, guys are out in the tinny. That's where we will be soon. Good luck! All right, now I'll tell you a little bit about this bloody mast there. So a couple of episodes back, you would have seen me struggling with internet. We're always struggling with internet, ain't you?
Yeah.
So it's been a real bloody pain in the rear to get reception, and so we tried to do something to improve it. Let me just get out of the wind, otherwise you can't get it. So we tried to do something to improve it. Now I had a look at a couple of options. Obviously, what's the bloody
Starlink.
Starlink is the way to go. We read, you know, it's internet from a satellite. You get it anywhere. You don't have to worry about reception anymore.
But the problem is we have no income, so we cannot
That's
have
right.
that Starlink.
So unfortunately, we don't make any money off of YouTube yet. Hey, if you listen to this, please subscribe, man. That'll help us a lot. So we got no income, and we can't afford, you know, $170 or $180 per month for internet. We have a large data plan on Telstra, so we don't always have to have it. Like, so we thought anyway.
We actually no need the internet, but for the upload the video for you guys to enjoy watching it.
Yeah, the last video we uploaded actually took 3 days, believe it or not. Now this is with this bloody thing. Now, okay, back to the story. Sorry. We tried to improve it a little bit without forking out a huge sum for it and getting another subscription somewhere. So we read up on a couple of YouTube videos, and they sort of recommended us a few things to improve the reception rather than getting, you know, internet through the satellites. So that brought us to buying this antenna. It's an Outback big boy antenna. I'll put the name of it down here. And we bought that in Townsville from a shop called Wi-Fi Guy. So there's two ways to go about it. Or two antennas you can choose. There's a directional antenna or an omnidirectional antenna. The omnidirectional antenna sort of works in a 360-degree radius, so it picks up any signal that it receives around us. And a directional antenna, you have to point towards the Telstra tower that provides the signal. That is, you got to know where that tower is, obviously. Now, there is a couple of workarounds about it, and unfortunately, they didn't have a directional one, and it was a lot dearer than the omnidirectional one. So yeah, we skimped maybe a little bit. So this is not a review, or this is not like what you should do to get internet better. We can't say because we don't know all the details about it. All I can tell you is we bought this omnidirectional antenna. We bought the biggest one they had, apparently the best one. It cost us about $300 for the antenna. There was another $150 or $200 actually for the cables. And then I think $100 for the mast, right? So that's that. Now, did it improve our signal? No.
Minus.
Like, I've been trying to reach these guys now, and I've got to say we've only tested it in 3 different locations because that's where we had low reception, and it didn't do anything. Like, yes and no, like a tiny bit. Like, we tested it, it was neglectable. It wasn't worth the money. It wasn't worth, you know, just putting it up wasn't even worth it sometimes. We got it up now in the hopes that we get a signal from across these islands there, because there is a mast over on Thursday Island, which is just behind that. So I'll put it as high as I can. The theory goes 1 meter in elevation of your antenna is 1 decibel more in reception.
So far we have lots of trouble with that thing. It could not help.
It's not worth it. At least what we got is not worth it. Now I'll show you the setup a little bit. The modem that you actually have to go with it. And that's this one here. So this is our modem, which is a Netgear. Now on the top here you can see we're at Telstra 4G, and we've got 2 bars, right? Now I can unplug these. These are the antenna cables. Now see what happens to the reception. Pretty much nothing. I've got 2 bars, and I've got 2 bars when I plug the antenna in. Sometimes it goes up by 1 bar. So if you're thinking, oh, you must have misconnected something, no, I haven't. I've tested it. It's definitely reading from the external antenna. It's not reading from the device itself. You can probably see now that I got it on the ground. It actually has nothing. See that? Now,
I'll plug the antenna cables back in. Now the antenna cables are back in and I've got 2 bars. But I can get 2 bars with just placing the router into a different place, so it doesn't make a lot of difference. Now, I'm not saying that this is always the case. I'm sure there'll be instances where this antenna could be quite handy. For example, if you're behind a sand dune and just on top of the sand dune you'll get reception, so then it might be a bit handy. But is it worth, like, all up, I think it costs us about $600. Is it worth that? I don't think so. So we're going to go and find a different solution. I've been trying to contact actually the guys from my Wi-Fi guy in Townsville to see if there is anything I can do, if there's anything wrong with it, but they haven't gotten back to me yet. Every time I call them, they say they'll get back to me, but they don't. So unfortunately, that's not so good. And it's just a bit of a pain because, you know, when we do the videos, uploading, it actually takes a very long time to do, and we have to do it to edit the videos. And then what we do at the moment is we copy them over to our phone, so we don't have to have the laptop running the whole time, and then we upload it. Last video, like I said, took 3 days to upload. Bit of a shocker, bit of a waste of money, but you live and learn, I suppose. Next time around, we're going to find a different solution, and we'll let you guys know what works best. If you have any suggestions or experience of your own with these types of antennas or internet in general, please drop a comment below and let us all know. In the meantime, we're having fun under the sun. In the end of the day, who needs internet when you live in a tropical paradise? Life here is so simple and only dictated by the tides and the weather. We spend most of our time exploring, fishing, and of course filming our adventures. Oh, and by the way, if you like our channel, please give us a thumbs up or subscribe and follow as we travel to some of the remotest places in Australia.
Alright, we're going to go for a little bit of an explorer down those mangroves, see if we can't find any tucker there, eh?
Yeah.
Let's go. Mangroves, I reckon, are an awesome place to find tucker. Yeah, that's right. That's the only downside of it. It's going to be muddy. Actually, my shoes, you know how many times I've lost shoes in the mangroves? Like, insane. I don't even know why I'm still wearing shoes. But the other thing is, I usually slice my feet open. No risk, no fun, eh? Trepang. Now, the Indonesians love catching this stuff. I'm not quite sure if they actually eat it, but I think they export it to China or something. But this is trepang, or sea cucumber. Apparently it tastes really good when it's roasted. I don't know. You give me a mud crab any day. Oh. That's what I mean, you get stuck in this stuff. But the only thing you want to be careful is the shells that are usually underneath, and they'll slice you up. But you actually have to go through this to get to the mud holes. Yeah, what are you doing up there? Come on. I didn't think Jenny would come. She was quite keen to come on the, like, go, let's go explore the mangrove. I can't wait. She thinks that walking around will get anything. We've got to go this way. There you go. And what we're looking for is the holes where the mud crabs go. We're going to have a look at those. We're going to have a look at cockle shells. Another thing you can find in here is mangrove oysters. I think they're called mud oysters or something. And a funny thing called telescopius, if I'm not mistaken. I'll show you when I find them. I don't know how to describe them. But yeah, you can cook them up yourself as well. Beautiful mangroves. I just love mangroves, man. they're so nice to look at, and there's so much tucker in there. It isn't the most pleasant place to be, I've got to give it that, but I reckon Mangroves is an amazing place. So what we're looking for is holes like this, and this is where the mud crabs live. Another good one there. Jenny. There's a couple of big holes. Now this stuff here is the calcified shell of a grub of a, I think they're called ship borers. Edible as well. It's a big worm, slimy worm. Doesn't look very pleasant, but you can eat it. There you go. A little shell called Telescopia telescopius, if I'm not mistaken. This is a small example. They grow a lot bigger, and what you do with them, you make fire in the sand, sweep away the fire, the embers and stuff. In the hot sand, you just stick them in like this, and they'll cook. And once the water starts coming out, actually this is a hermit crab, to be honest. Look at this. I'll bet you that's not even it. Look at that, it'll come out. That looks more like a hermit crab than a snail. So these ones, I'm actually not quite sure. I haven't researched those, but there's heaps around, sort of stuck all around this place. Never tried these before. Might have a look and research them a bit more. Yeah, couldn't find much, but I saw a lot of footprints in there. It's probably because this place is obviously busy, so I'll be not the only one poking around in these mangroves. And I reckon a couple of people had their feelers out for a couple of nice mussels. That's all right. Always good to go and have a look first. Check out our beach camp. How nice is it? And you know what? Yesterday it absolutely filled up with people. There was just one mob after the other coming in. And then this morning they're all buggered off again. So good for us, I guess.
Oh well, no crabs tonight, but we did get the tinny ready for a fishing trip the next day. So let's see how we go.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, today we finally got a break in the wind, so we're going to start exploring around the islands. Hopefully we get somewhere nice, show you guys this epic area around here. It's not always easy to launch and retrieve the boat here. We only got a short window, unfortunately, because the tide is out that far and it's actually super muddy out there. You can't actually walk all the way out there. We've got to leave here now, and then we only got a window of about 4 hours at the most before we have to be back. It's a bit of a sketchy ride to get out of here because there is reef all in front. So because we're leaving so early, I actually got to be really, really cautious to pick my points and not hit the reef ideally. Yeah, safety first, put on the life jackets because we're pretty remote. As you can see, there is not much around us other than islands. But right there, behind that island in the distance there is Thursday Island. And that actually houses the main hospital for this area. That services the whole Torres Strait, the tip of Cape York, all the islands around here. It's got a population of about 2,000 people, and it's a tiny little island. So hopefully we'll get the chance to go there, and I'll show you guys Thursday Island. It's a pretty cool spot from what I heard. Never been there, but got to go and check it out if we get the time. So what we've done now is this is where we left off, that beach there, and we'll just cruised around this island here. Yeah, there's super strong currents out here, guys. Decided to go boating, keep that in mind, no matter what tide it is. At the moment, it's actually very like a neap tide, so there's not big tidal movement, but the current just rips through here. Have a look.
I don't think we can make it on shore. So, what's the plan now, Mr. Kraft?
We've got this little island here. I'm not quite sure what's the name. Medler Island is this. Tiny little island. We'll try to get on shore, but there's a reef right here, and with the current like that, it's unfortunately a no-go.
It's reef all along the beach area here. We have to come to this channel. Quite shallow, but no rock underneath. See how we can land to the island or not.
How beautiful is this? Awesome, awesome little island. Just a bit hard to get there, so we'll have to navigate our way around. But I reckon we can get to that beach. Show you around a bit.
Look at Sasha's face. She's very happy at the moment.
This is so good.
But the water is crystal clear, so maybe about what, 30 meters? No, 30 centimeters. I let Sasha walk and then I spot something for him. Make sure you not get eaten by a crocodile.
Manual override. We're on manual override.
Here we go. I have to come down, have a walk too. Oh, too shallow.
So good. This is an amazing spot. Love it. But there's no coconut trees here. Just hanging out to get a coconut to make some coconut milk. And look. You know, one thing I noticed is that there's no one around here fishing. We've only seen 2 or 3 little tinnies over the whole time that we've been here now, which is a week. And I think part of it has to do with the currents being so strong. Like obviously there's boat charters around here, and apparently they go to this area and they'll put around here. Don't know why though. No one out here. Look at that, how much fish is down there?
Bobby's not a charm.
Big caught! Nice one! There we go, that's a fish. Alright, get him nicely. Get him nicely. Once you put that underneath, you're going to want to go. Yes, Jenny! There you go. There's dinner sorted, eh, Jen?
Yeah, you can
High five.
Yes.
Oh, big Queenie. Oh, he's good fighting fish.
Oh my god, don't get cut.
So good. Oh, the little rod boys. Oh, look at that fish.
Hang on, I try.
Snap the rod again.
The rod got snapped. Too big. Oh my god, you don't even can hold it.
Look at this bad boy. Yes. That's a nice Queenie. Check out the island with the coconut trees. What a beautiful beach. So, Possession Island National Park. And coconuts. Definitely some up there.
It is bumpy now the way back. The wind picking up, so just in time. That's a turtle! Turtles! I thought it's a rock. What are you doing?
They're having sex, I think.
You reckon?
I think so.
Look out, we found a private island.
Yeah, this is Damon Island. I'm not sure. It looks like it's more of a holiday place for the locals. Looks like a good fishing spot to me too.
Well, fishing mission successful. We had an awesome time exploring. Just keep in mind the winds and the currents can make for some very dangerous conditions, especially in a smaller boat, so do play it safe just in case.
Today is Jenny's birthday.
Yay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jenny. We're at Punsand Bay now.
Thank you.
Nah, it's Jenny's birthday today. How cool is that? And we're celebrating in the only place that we can celebrate to, that's Punsand Bay, which is just around the corner from our campsite.
Okay.
So we go here, we'll have some dinner and a couple of coal runs.
Yeah.
We won't be enjoying the sunset because Punsand Bay doesn't have a sunset over here, at least not over the ocean. So let's go to sunset, let's go to Punsand Bay,
Yep.
have a feed, have a drink and have a relax.
Happy birthday, Jenny. After a big feed at the restaurant, we returned for a cold wine and sunset to our camp. What a great day it was.
you happen to camp on the beach like we do here, you're most likely finding a few of these ones flying around on the beach. Now most people don't bother with them because they are actually dried up, and people think, nah, they're no good anymore, you can't drink them. That's actually wrong. Even though they are all dried up, they are still good to use, and I want to show you a really cool dessert you can make out of these old coconuts. Just make sure and check them and see if you can hear some water in there. You hear that? So these are the coconuts you most likely find in the shops as well. So if you don't happen to live on a tropical beach, you can go to the shops, pick yourself up a fresh coconut or an old coconut, however you want to see it, and I'll show you how to do some really nice dessert with this. Let's go.
The first step is to get to the actual nut, which is probably the hardest part. I've seen some really funny ways of people trying to accomplish this. A spear or a sharp stick rammed into the ground is most commonly used on coconut farms. Either way, it's hard work. You finally got to the nut, a few taps on the right side with a knife get you close to the delicious water. Next, I'm removing the coconut flesh from the shell itself. Be very careful doing this though, as even I end up with cuts every once in a while there. Now it's time to rasp the coconut down. The smaller, the better for making milk.
Yeah, so this is the grated coconut. And next thing what we've got to do is we'll get water on the boil and then mix this up with hot water. Let's do that now. This here, by the way, is the juice we got out of the coconut. Don't discard that. You can use that later for the dessert as well. I put it in there, it tastes delicious. It is super refreshing. And here's a little tip. If you got a hangover because you had a bender the night before, get yourself one of these ones, the best hydrolyte you can get, believe me. We lived in a coconut farm for many years, and this was my go-to thing if I had a bender.
Mix the hot water and the coconut in a bowl and stir for a few minutes till the water turns milky. Use less water for a stronger taste. After that, use a cheesecloth or a towel to squeeze out as much milk as you can. Go, fresh coconut milk, so good for any kinds of curries, or in this case, our delicious coconut dessert.
There you go, that's the agar-agar powder. Now, you can pick that up in the Asian store, and it says agar-agar, agar-agar, whatever, something like that. What it actually is, I have no clue. It's made in Thailand, and it's got Chinese writing all over it. Funny enough, they say on the back, add this packet to 3 kilos of water. Why would you say kilo? Anyway, so we got about 1 litre of coconut milk. So I got to roughly divide this up by 3, add that in there. And then we bring it to a boil and add some sugar, and that's pretty much it. A third of this in here. I reckon it's pactine. It looks like pactine. we're going to give that a stir. Done. All right, we're going to put that on a boil now. All right, here we go. So once that's boiling, just keep stirring because it'll probably get a bit thick. I haven't made this in a long time, so I'm not quite 100% on top of my cooking skills here. But basically, once it's boiled, put it to rest, set it in the fridge, and just like Jello, wait for it to go hot. And then, yes, delicious tucker. All right, now this is starting to come to a boil. We'll add a bit of sugar, about that much, and also a pinch of salt. A pinch of salt tastes good. Today's our last day over here. We're going to pack up tomorrow. We're going to go back into the caravan park in Bamaga and then head off to
The South End.
and then we're going to head off to
Cohen.
and then we're going to head off to
Thursday Island. So what? You haven't planned to me. You haven't communicated.
Funny thing is, she wanted to go there. All right, time to pour it into a little container.
Just perfect.
There you go. Yeah, boy, that's it. Can't wait. Here we go. There you go, and that's our jelly. Let's cut it up and see what it looks like. It should pop out just nicely. Yeah. Okay, Jello. Test. Yum. Very yum. Anyway, that's what you can do with a coconut.
That's it again for this week's episode of our adventures at Cape York. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Jenny and me would love to see you again for more epic adventures around Australia. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully see you again in the next episode.